Fish tank's ready, almost. Waiting for occupants. Yes, but before we get to that, let me take you on a little bit of a memory lane. This is what I did. I found a fish tank for 400 bucks with a stand, 2 filters, in perfect condition. Yup, I built a canopy for it, and then I began to install the plumbing. Now, didn't want to reinvent the wheel or anything like that, so I just looked up King DIY built-in inline heaters, and there it was, a video of how to make it from scratch to finish. Brilliant. Highly advised. Next, I began to do the 3D background. I knew I wanted to look as realistic as possible, inviting and somewhat, aesthetic. Again, I looked up some videos, found out more about how to build, and just followed the videos. So again, no need to reinvent the wheel. Look it up. Tons of information and videos out there. I had to dismember into 3 pieces to fit into the tank. Once I have siliconed it and propped it up with something non-abrasive, I waited about, I don't know, it was 30 some hours. Maybe I should have waited longer because the buoyancy of this stuff is incredible. I will explain later. I sealed it and obviously welded with a concrete to hide the seams, and then waited some more. Once the fish tank was pretty much dry and the paint was ready, and I began installing the decor. All of the decor I have found in the creek right behind my house. You'll probably see some changes from then till now, but just like everyone else, you're evolving with your project. Once the project was up and near completion, I began contemplating on what to stock it with. I had a pretty good idea already. And here we come, almost to the end of the roughing out. I'll be very glad to show you the rest. But before we go to this, there's one more step we have to go back to. Rana habitat. And here we are. This is the 54-gallon, I call it the incubator, which was originally just harboring or hosting a couple of angelfish. But once we got the ranas, we needed to place them in a nice, hospitable environment where I can have a good eye on them and, be able to clean the tank out easily. Anyway, I still remained somewhat, firm on the decor. I wanted to be very natural. I wanted to appear as if they were in their own, natural habitat. Therefore, less stressed and, live out a good life. Meanwhile, I began the conditioning. I began the conditioning by simply sticking my hands out and making a lot of movement around the tank. This ensured that the ranas were used to the traffic, the noise, and with each one of those events, I would, trying to find some way of gratifying them with some food. It worked like magic. Soon I was able to hand feed the ranas and observe them in almost their natural habitat, doing their very natural things, which was, fighting, scavenging, and harassing other tank mates. A very important note, you need tank mates for piranhas right from the get-go. It helps to diffuse their somewhat of a hyperactive energy and aggression towards other fish, not instead of each other, thus saving you from losing ranas. I used rosy minnows, which were quite grown out and larger than the ranas when I first got them. And sure enough, they became perfect tank mates for the next probably month and a half. because that's how long it took for the piranhas to go from 3/4 to 2 inches, just about a month. By then I knew it was time to get their new habitat ready. That's my finger. We'll eat the krill. There's someone constantly getting to my finger for some reason. They're so strong now.
Oh, they stole the big piece and ran away with it. The eyeball. Ooh, someone ate it. Big one again. Now they're fighting over the fragments.
This chub just ate my Placasimus, so I fished him out and fed him to the piranhas. Creek chub cost me $10 in Placasimus. Fuck it. Now it's gonna be a dinner for piranhas. The baby piranhas. I'm getting their lunch on dinner. Okay, so the baby piranhas are getting moved from this 54-gallon corner tank, which was their first incubator habitat. We're gonna go into a 210-gallon, which is getting a quick 30% water replacement change. Which brings us back to here. Well, what I had to do is change the water a few more times. Every few days the water became very amber. Obviously I have a lot of driftwood and roots and stumps in there. As you noticed, my left top corner also changed. I've added some more of stumps, which allowed for some shading. I had in mind, like I said, a good hospitable environment for the piranhas, so I had to make sure they have as many hiding places as they did in the other tank, but in a larger scale. Throughout this whole time, I pretty much maintained, some level of bio by putting in some indigenous fish from the creek. Once again, the creek came in handy. Hey everyone. So as you can see, the piranhas have made it to the morning. They all survived. They seem to be fine. Swimming about, harassing the rest of the, occupants. Whether it's the chub or the sunfish, they're all still here. Doing fine. Just browsing. Yep. Piranhas have acclimated in their new home. Cool.